Since my channel's creation, it has been a combo of Kirby and Zelda. But I've never really done anything with the two series together. But that ends today, because I'm gonna fuse them. Specifically, I'm gonna make 3 abilities based on Tears of the Kingdom. And that's all for the intro. Hope you enjoy. First up, we have an ability based on the main man himself, Link. Now, if you've played any Kirby games before, you might notice an issue with this. The sword ability, one of Kirby's most iconic abilities, is inspired by Link already, so we'll have to adjust this ability to still feel like Link, but be different from sword. For one, we could give him other weapon types like two-handed swords and spears. We could also give him a bow, for example, the Savage Lyall bow, the best in Tears of the Kingdom. And of course, Kirby would have to use the Master Sword. So with all that in mind, I started drawing the first Tears of the Kingdom ability. And here it is. Link Kirby. With this ability, Kirby is able to use the moves and weapons of Link. By pressing B, you'd be able to use Link's 4-swing combo in Breath of the Wild / Tears of the Kingdom. By holding the button down, you could do a spin attack similar to Sword. But unlike the Sword ability, you could keep spinning as long as you held the button. Down B would have Kirby swap weapons from Sword to Claymore to Spear. This would change how his neutral B and charge attacks worked, being their movesets in Tears of the Kingdom. Dash attack would have him shoot 3 arrows forwards from his bow, while jumping forwards. Up B would have Kirby swing his weapon above him, changing with each weapon type. This is a pretty grounded ability, but I like the swapping weapons mechanic. I think it turned out good. Next up, we have another well-known part of Tears of the Kingdom, the Zonai. The Zonai have been shown to have control over light and time in Tears of the Kingdom. But this is only through using the secret stones, which are limited to a few Zonai. But other than that, we don't really see the Zonai do much with their powers. At least, this is the case in Tears of the Kingdom but not in Age of Imprisonment. In that game, we see Rauru amongst other Zonai using the runes in combat, such as Ultra Hand. Kirby could use this rune and others, such as Recall. And we can also use this spear that Rauru has in Age of Imprisonment for Kirby's moveset. And on the topic of Rauru, he will be the Zonai that the hat will be based off of. So with all that in mind, I started drawing the next Tears of the Kingdom ability. And here it is. Zonai Kirby. With this ability, Kirby is able to use the Zonai runes and weapons in combat. By pressing B, Kirby would fire out the Ultra Hand ability as a green energy projectile. If it hit an enemy, it would grab them. Kirby would then be able to throw them using any of the directions on the analog stick. Dash attack would have him run forwards and pull out a spear, swinging it back and forth. This would be a reference to one of Rauru's attacks in Age of Imprisonment. Down B would have Kirby use Recall to bring a rock up from the ground into the sky. The Recall would then end, having it drop back down and break upon hitting the ground. Up B would have Kirby use Ascend, jumping into the sky while surrounded in Zonai energy. Side B next to an enemy would have Kirby use Fuse on them, attaching them to his spear. This would make his next dash attack deal more damage based on the strength of the enemy. And finally, down up B would have him shoot a beam of light forward like Rauru. Overall, I think this is a cool representation of the runes and Zonai. But I think there's still one more side of Tears of the Kingdom we haven't gotten to. And that would be the various Zonai devices in the game. And who else to represent the Zonai devices but the constructs? This ability, similar to the last one, would likely use Zoanite weapons. But I also want to let it use some of the actual Zonai devices. For example, Kirby could fuse a flame emitter to his weapon to give it a fire effect. Or, he could use a rocket to close the distance between him and enemies. We could even have Kirby use time bombs for powerful explosions. So with all that in mind, I started drawing the final Tears of the Kingdom ability. And here it is. Construct Kirby. With this ability, Kirby is able to use the power of Zonai devices. By pressing B, Kirby would just swing forwards with his Zoanite spear. Dash attack would have infused a rocket to it, sending Kirby flying forwards. At the end of his dash, he would swing the spear in an arc. Up B would see Kirby fusing a flame emitter to his spear and blasting above. Down B would use a big wheel fused to the spear, which would be spun on the ground. And finally, down up B would have Kirby throw a time bomb into the air, before exploding it. Overall, I think all of these abilities turned out great. If you enjoyed, be sure to like and subscribe. And that's all for today. See you next time.